Well, the ABC 15 Health Insider team is taking you beyond the headlines and things you might be reading about on social media, right? Or maybe you're hearing from friends. We want to bring you some expert advice and also some answers to questions that you are writing into us about.
That's right. So for the next 2 hours, we'll be joined by doctors to answer your questions, all the questions that our ABC 15 viewers have sent in about the vaccine and about the mental health of our kids as they head back to school. Dr. Janice Johnson, the first to join us, the Chief Medical Officer for Redirect Health here in the Valley. She's joining me right now. Dr. Johnson, I want to thank you for being with us. As always, it's great to see you again. Let's get right into these questions. This first one, it's a two-parter. It's from John Swatton of Chandler. He says, if a person has a documented case of COVID-19, when should they get vaccinated? And he also asks, if you have COVID and you don't know that you have it and still get vaccinated, would there be any side effects? So these are two really interesting questions.
Yes, so let me take the first question, first part of that question there. So definitely if you know that you have COVID or you have symptoms of COVID and maybe you're just not sure if you have it or you don't, and you've got the sniffles or sore throat, aching, that kind of thing, you definitely want to make sure that you wait out the quarantine period. The quarantine period is 10 days from the date of onset of your symptom before you would consider getting a vaccination. After having COVID, we do know that the body develops natural immunity, but we also know that that natural immunity will wane or disappear over time. So if you've got a vaccine scheduled and by chance you develop COVID, just definitely make sure that you wait until that quarantine period is over, the 10 days is over, but you've got a good many months before you would necessarily want to run out and get your vaccination.
Okay, and then this, oh, sorry, I was just going to say the second part is if you had COVID unbeknownst to you and you still got the vaccine, is that going to cause any side effects?
Well, we don't think so. So obviously we don't want everyone to be rushing out there getting COVID testing before they get their vaccination, but we do know that COVID will give no symptoms at all. So it is the possibility that someone could have it and not realize it.
All right. Well, this next question comes from Catherine Wilson of Florence. She says, going forward, if this is a vaccine that needs to be done annually, like the flu vaccine, will I need to continue to receive the Moderna vaccine if that's the one I received right now? This is an interesting one.
It is, and I don't think that we necessarily know the answer to that right now. My suspicion would be it would not, but I don't think that we know the answer to that. It's a great question.
This next one comes from Julie Antunes of Cave Creek. She says, are the Moderna second shot patients experiencing more COVID-like symptoms than Pfizer second shot patients? So I think she's talking about, the sore arm, feeling lethargic, worn down, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so definitely we have had reports from lots of folks that after the second vaccination, they seem to have a few more side effects. They are short-lived, so I don't want anybody to be scared. They're going to go on and on, but between the two of them, I don't think one is more likely to have more side effects than the other.
Okay, that's important to know. I think we have time for one more question in this segment. Karen Stone wants to know, after receiving both shots of the Pfizer vaccine, I had absolutely no reaction. Does that mean the vaccine was not effective?
Well, the good news is that it does not mean that. So probably about 50% of people who received a vaccination had no side effects at all. So that's a really great thing. The good thing, even better thing, is that 94% still had the effectiveness whether they had side effects or not.
Okay, yeah, so if you didn't have side effects, doesn't mean it didn't work, you just lucked out. You were one of the lucky ones that didn't have the arm pain or anything like that. Dr. Janice Johnson from Redirect Health, I want to thank you as always for being with us. You're such a wealth of information. We're going to check back in with you in our next half hour, and we have more of our ABC 15 Health Insiders coming right up, Kaylee.
Yes, we do. Up next.